Elon Musk just got hit with something he never saw coming. And no, it wasn't a scrappy startup. It was Toyota. That's right, the automaker everyone thought was lagging behind in the EV race just dropped a bombshell that left Elon reeling. And behind the scenes? Let's just say things got intense. This wasn't your usual product reveal or flashy headline grab. This was a direct hit. A calculated power move from a company most people had written off when it came to EVs. For years, the only electric vehicle people associated with Toyota was, well, maybe a golf cart or a milk float, but not anymore. The quiet giant has finally spoken, and the ripple effects are shaking up not just the EV industry, but space too. If you thought the competition between Tesla and legacy car makers had cooled down, think again. What Toyota just did changes the game, and Elon's reaction. That says everything. Tesla's once iron grip on the EV crown might be slipping. To understand what's going on, we need to rewind a bit. For the better part of a decade, Tesla was the electric vehicle industry. Not just a player, the player. Elon Musk didn't just build cars. He built a brand that rewrote the rules of what a car company could be. And for a long time, the traditional automakers looked outdated in comparison. Musk dismissed them as relics, and to be fair, he had a point. Tesla was miles ahead, pushing out over-the-air updates, pioneering self-driving features, and building factories that looked more like Silicon Valley than Detroit. But something shifted. Tesla is still a force, no doubt. But that clear, open road to domination, it's getting crowded, fast. Between pricing battles in China, supply chain headaches, growing investor concern, and mounting competition from both startups and the old guard, Tesla's path isn't so smooth anymore. And while Elon is busy juggling SpaceX, Neuralink, and X, formerly Twitter, his rivals have been quietly making moves. Big moves. Tesla's profit margins have taken a hit after slashing prices worldwide. What used to be a premium brand is starting to feel more mainstream. The Cybertruck was supposed to be a game changer, but delays and mixed reactions have left fans wondering, is the magic fading? Behind closed doors, pressure is mounting, from shareholders, regulators, and increasingly bold competitors. But perhaps the biggest surprise? It's not a startup making the boldest move right now. It's Toyota. Yes, that Toyota. The same company that critics claimed was dragging its feet on EVs. Too traditional, too cautious, too late. But here's the truth. Toyota wasn't ignoring the EV transition. They were preparing for it, quietly and deliberately. And what they're unveiling now, it's not just a response to Tesla, it's a direct challenge. This isn't about rushing to the spotlight with concept cars and slick presentations. It's about laying the groundwork for something far bigger. A long-term strategy that could span cities, satellites, and yes, maybe even space. Toyota is playing a different game. No drama, no hype, just execution. And the timing? Couldn't be more critical. Tesla's dominance is still there, but it's no longer untouchable. The glow around the brand is fading, and the competition smells opportunity. Elon Musk still knows how to command the world's attention. But attention doesn't guarantee control. Not anymore. While Musk is fighting fires on multiple fronts, Toyota is preparing for a precise strategic strike. No viral tweets, no headlines for attention's sake. Just careful, methodical movement. And if you think this is just about EVs, you're missing the bigger picture. What Toyota is about to launch isn't just another car. It's something that could upend Tesla's entire business model. And maybe even shake Musk himself. And it all begins with one very calculated, very public move, coming soon. The sleeping giant is awake. If Tesla was the bold, brash disruptor who crashed the party and flipped the table, Toyota has been the quiet one in the corner, watching, learning, waiting. For years, they were slammed for not going all in on electric. People called them slow, stubborn, even out of touch. While Tesla made noise with battery breakthroughs and futuristic designs, Toyota stuck with hybrids and hydrogen, technologies many dismissed as old school. But here's the thing, Toyota doesn't do hype. They do strategy. And now, the strategy is starting to unfold, and the entire auto industry is watching. That's exactly what's been happening behind the scenes. While other car makers rushed to flood the market with EVs, Toyota took a different route. They watched, they learned, they mapped the terrain carefully. And now, what once looked like hesitation is starting to look a lot more like precision. Because here's the thing, despite all the criticism, Toyota still sells more vehicles globally than almost any other automaker. Their supply chain is world-class. Their engineering reputation is rock solid. For decades, they've perfected the art of reliability, efficiency, and scale. And now, they're applying that same playbook to something much bigger than just electric cars. They're stepping into an entirely new era. Former president and now chairman Akio Toyoda has long believed that the shift to fully electric vehicles wasn't as inevitable or as simple as many assumed. He pointed out flaws in the global infrastructure, questioned whether EVs alone could really fix emissions issues, and warned about going all in too quickly. At the time, people laughed. Critics said he was out of touch. But now, a lot of what he predicted is starting to come true. Governments are rolling back EV mandates. Energy grids in many countries are under serious strain, and EV range anxiety still very real. Meanwhile, Toyota has used that time not to catch up, but to craft a more comprehensive strategy. Instead of going all in on batteries, Toyota has taken a diversified approach. They're developing next-generation solid-state batteries, a technology that could completely change the EV game. They've continued refining hybrids, and they're still exploring hydrogen, especially for commercial transportation, where batteries may not be the best fit. More importantly, Toyota has been investing in something far more ambitious: a complete mobility ecosystem. While Tesla built a brand around Elon Musk's vision, Toyota built a machine, a company that doesn't rely on social media buzz to stay relevant. One that doesn't get thrown off balance when leadership changes or markets wobble. A company built to play the long game. And that machine, it's finally starting to move. Toyota has quietly poured billions into innovation hubs, battery production, and next-gen mobility tech. They've filed hundreds of patents, not just for better EVs, but for the entire system around them. We're talking about autonomous driving, AI-assisted traffic systems, and smart infrastructure. While other companies chased range and acceleration stats, Toyota was connecting the dots. They're not just thinking about how to make great cars. They're thinking about how cars fit into something much bigger. Cities that talk to each other, roads that learn and adapt, vehicles that sync with traffic and infrastructure in real time. That's the real difference. Tesla moves fast and breaks things. Toyota moves slow, but when they build to last. And now they're moving. This isn't a company scrambling to catch up. It's a competitor that's been preparing patiently for its moment. While the world was focused on Tesla's tweets and China's EV boom, Toyota was building something that could completely shift the playing field. But here's the kicker. We haven't even seen the full picture yet. There have been subtle signals for years. Small-scale investments, low-key press releases, and patent filings that didn't make headlines. Until now. Let's talk about those patents. In just the last few years, Toyota has filed hundreds related to solid-state batteries, AI-powered traffic control systems, and autonomous navigation. Now sure, every car company files patents. But Toyota's portfolio, it reveals a bigger plan. They're not just focused on improving the vehicle itself, they're building the ecosystem around it. Think smart roads, vehicle-to-vehicle communication, machine learning that adapts traffic flow based on real-time population data. This isn't just about selling more EVs, it's about building the future that those EVs will live in. And when it comes to hardware, Toyota's strategy couldn't be more different from Tesla's. Where Tesla often announces features first and figures out the details later, Toyota makes sure everything works before it ever goes public. For the past 5 years, they've quietly been refining their battery tech, investing billions in R&D across Japan, North America, and Europe. The crown jewel: their work on solid-state batteries. These aren't just a step forward, they're potentially a giant leap. Solid-state batteries are lighter, charge faster, offer better range, and carry less risk of overheating or fire. If Toyota pulls this off, they won't just catch up, they'll leapfrog over the competition. And remember, this is just the beginning. The sleeping giant is no longer asleep, and it's not here to follow, it's here to lead. Let's talk about lithium-ion technology, and more importantly, what Toyota's really been up to. For a long time, people assumed Toyota was falling behind in the EV race. The truth? They weren't stalling, they were choosing not to play the same game everyone else was. While other automakers dove headfirst into building electric vehicles using the same tools and technologies, Toyota stepped back. They didn't want to join the race with the same tired strategy. They were quietly working on a completely different playbook. And now, that patience? It's starting to look a lot like precision. In 2024, Toyota began ramping up hiring in AI and robotics. Behind the scenes, they formed low-profile partnerships with universities and research labs focused on mobility tech. In Japan, they started testing autonomous shuttles, not just on roads, but in controlled, purpose-built environments. And just as importantly, they've been building the infrastructure to support them. Not just cars, systems. The foundation for scalable autonomy. You won't see flashy live streams or Elon-style product unveilings from Toyota. But if you look closely, in fine print announcements, subtle press releases, patent filings, a picture begins to form. And that picture is big. From cloud computing investments to predictive safety algorithms, Toyota isn't just building vehicles anymore. They're building the digital nervous system for how people and goods will move in the next decade. There's also something deeper at play, something cultural. Toyota's corporate DNA is all about precision, refinement, and long-term planning. They don't rush, they don't panic, they don't chase headlines. They calibrate. That's exactly what they've been doing while the rest of the EV market has been in a roller coaster of hype, innovation, and disruption. They've been watching it all. Tesla's rapid rise, its stumbles, its recoveries, and its distractions. And now, their moment is approaching. For years, insiders have said that when Toyota decides to go all in on something, they don't enter to compete. They enter to take over. And lately, the signs are no longer subtle. Toyota's R&D spending is at record highs. Their factory upgrades are happening faster than ever. Executives who once kept quiet are speaking with more confidence, still calm, still calculated, but unmistakably more bold. Something's coming. A coordinated, deliberate move. A reveal that will connect all these signals into one clear, unmistakable message. And when it lands, no one will be able to ignore it. But before we get to that, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about Elon. Elon Musk doesn't scare easily. He's built a reputation on brushing off the competition with a smirk. Legacy automakers? In his view, they've been too slow, too bloated, and too stuck in the past to pose a real threat. And for the longest time, Toyota fit neatly into that category. Safe, predictable, irrelevant to the EV revolution he was leading. But something changed in early 2025. It wasn't one big announcement, it was a series of small, quiet moves. A noticeable increase in Toyota's global activity. Whispers in industry circles. Subtle signs that Toyota wasn't just playing catch-up. They were making moves to leap ahead. Musk, who's usually laser-focused on Mars, Neuralink, or Tesla's next launch, reportedly started asking tougher internal questions, especially about Toyota's rumored progress in solid-state battery tech. Because if those rumors were true, it meant Toyota wasn't behind at all. They might actually be pulling ahead. Tesla has always taken pride in being first. The first with over-the-air updates, the first with custom AI chips, the first with a proprietary charging network. The company's edge came from always being steps ahead of the curve. But Toyota's recent moves didn't look rushed. They looked strategic. Musk said little publicly, but his actions told a different story. Not long after Toyota ramped up its investment in advanced mobility infrastructure, Tesla suddenly accelerated its own AI and robotics programs, particularly in autonomous driving. Analysts noticed the timing. So did journalists. One veteran EV reporter wrote, "It feels like Tesla's looking over its shoulder, and for the first time, the shadow isn't coming from Silicon Valley." It's not that Elon fears Toyota's cars, not in the traditional sense. It's Toyota's scale, their discipline, and the long game they're playing that likely makes him uneasy. This isn't a flashy startup burning through cash and media buzz. Toyota doesn't rely on hype to move markets. They're building something slower, deeper, and built to last. And that's the kind of threat Musk can't just out-tweet or undercut with a discount. You can't meme your way out of a challenge that isn't playing the same game. Toyota's silence? That's what's unsettling. No trash talk, no stunts. Just quiet, relentless progress. Then came Toyota's turn. Still, no fanfare, no booming soundtracks, no smoke and lasers. Just Akio Toyoda, stepping up to the mic with his signature blend of humility and dry humor. He started with reflections, stories, values, a vision of mobility that felt more philosophical than technical. But then he shifted. Gently, deliberately, he challenged the status quo. He spoke about the limits of traditional thinking. He painted a future where transportation wasn't just on roads. It was in the skies, in orbit, maybe even beyond. It wasn't just about building better cars. It was about redefining mobility itself. The energy in the room changed. People started to realize this wasn't just another EV presentation. This was something bigger, something foundational. And even before the final reveal, the internet lit up with speculation. Elon Musk hadn't tweeted in hours, but he was trending anyway. Not because of anything he said, but because of what Toyota might say next. Livestream chats were buzzing. Is this Toyota's SpaceX moment? Are they about to announce a moon car? Is this a shot at Elon? But outside a tight inner circle at Toyota, no one knew exactly what was coming. Not yet. What was clear was this. The stage was set. All the quiet moves, the subtle signs, the slow build-up. It had all led to this moment. The calm was nearly over. And when Toyota finally pulled back the curtain, it wouldn't just surprise the crowd. It would make a statement. One that wouldn't just catch Elon Musk off guard. It would hit him. Where it hurt the most. Up next, what Toyota actually revealed. And how Elon Musk reacted when he realized what they were really building. The silent humiliation. The lights dimmed, the crowd hushed, and then Akio Toyoda, chairman of Toyota and the company's most unpredictable force, took the stage. He smiled, paused, and delivered a line that would echo through the tech world like a shot. The future of mobility shouldn't be limited to just Earth or just one car company. It was calm, measured, but everyone in the room felt the impact. He didn't name names. He didn't have to. Everyone knew exactly who that was aimed at. The message hit directly at Elon Musk, the man who had built his reputation on revolutionizing transport, on Earth and beyond it. But this time, Toyota wasn't responding with just another car. This was something else entirely. Akio Toyoda went on to announce a $44 million investment in Interstellar Technologies, a Japanese spaceflight startup with big ambitions. Similar to what SpaceX had done, but with a different approach. Quieter, leaner, and grounded in Japanese engineering discipline. The real twist? While Elon Musk was busy hosting live streams and posting about humanoid robots and Cybertrucks, Toyota's leadership stayed quiet. No Twitter battles. No over-the-top promises. Just quiet, steady momentum. Industry insiders started to notice the contrast. Some even compared it to a game of chess. Musk had been playing speed chess, dominating early with bold, fast moves. Toyota, meanwhile, had been playing a longer, deeper game, thinking 6-7 moves ahead. And now? The board was starting to shift. In press conferences, Musk began using a term he hadn't leaned on much before: Serious competition. He warned his teams not to get comfortable. He told engineers to work like it was day one again. Behind the scenes, there were reports of tense internal meetings, delayed vacations, and tightened timelines. It didn't look like a company confidently on top anymore. It looked like a company feeling pressure. He never said Toyota by name. He didn't have to. For years, Tesla had looked down at the old guard of the auto world, and Toyota had been lumped right in. Safe, conservative, irrelevant. But that same old guard was now climbing the ladder, and doing it quietly. Musk had spent years launching rockets, reinventing transport, and capturing headlines. But this wasn't about being loud. This was about being ready. And Toyota. They were nearly there. The calm before the collision. By January 2025, you could feel it. Something was in the air. The Consumer Electronics Show, CES in Las Vegas, was buzzing with the usual tech hype. Foldable phones, AI gadgets, robotic pets. But one name on the schedule stood out more than usual: Toyota. That alone raised eyebrows. CES is traditionally where tech companies shine, not legacy automakers. Tesla doesn't even attend, preferring to create its own spotlight. Toyota? Historically quiet, background noise at best. So when news broke that Akio Toyoda, the former president and now chairman, still very much the heart of the company, would be making a rare appearance, the industry took notice. Speculation started immediately. Something's coming. Still, Toyota didn't hype it. No teaser trailers, no dramatic countdown. Just business as usual, on the surface. But behind the scenes, reporters noticed something different. Private meetings, off-the-record briefings, a sudden spike in Toyota's media activity in the days leading up to the event. Insiders were whispering that this wasn't going to be a routine update on hybrids or safety scores. This was something else entirely. And it had to be. Because even with all its recent turbulence, Tesla was still the benchmark. Elon Musk's empire still had everyone's attention. Cars, AI, rockets, brain tech, even social media. But over the last several months, the narrative had started to shift. Tesla was battling stock swings, regulatory scrutiny, quality concerns. And Musk, for all his brilliance, seemed increasingly stretched thin. It was the perfect moment for a challenger to step in, and Toyota looked ready to do exactly that. As CES kicked off, journalists were watching every move. Tesla wasn't there, officially, but its presence hovered over everything. Every automaker on stage had one unspoken goal: prove they could compete with Tesla, or even outgrow it. Most didn't. Their announcements felt recycled. Their tech demos felt forced. Their messaging missed the mark. The project would fall under Woven by Toyota, the company's futuristic innovation lab, already behind AI-powered smart cities, autonomous transport systems, and now, rockets. At that moment, what had started as a surprising reveal turned into something seismic, but that was only the beginning. After the CES presentation, a small group of journalists were pulled into a private, off-the-record briefing. Toyota's CEO, Koji Sato, was there. And that's where things got even more real. One reporter asked directly if this move was Toyota's answer to Elon Musk's dominance in EVs and space. Sato didn't mince words. "We're not following him. We're not impressed by him. We're replacing him." And then someone else in the room, reportedly a senior executive, added with a smirk, "Tell Elon we said fuck you." The room froze. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't a marketing stunt. It was raw, intentional, and very, very real. That line wasn't supposed to go public, but by the next morning, it had leaked. Tech blogs pounced, Twitter exploded, Reddit threads lit up, and somewhere behind the scenes at Tesla HQ, Elon Musk was furious. Sources close to Tesla say he had already been agitated after watching the CES stream. But the leaked comments? That crossed a line. According to one insider, he threw his phone across the room, canceled an investor call, and stormed out of a scheduled meeting. For a man who's always positioned himself as the one ahead of everyone, The disruptor, the trailblazer, the alpha, Toyota's sudden and unexpected strike didn't just challenge his strategy. It challenged his ego. Because this wasn't just about rockets or cars. This was about pride, status, legacy. Elon had built his empire by being the loudest and the boldest in the room. And now, a 90-year-old automaker had stepped in, whispered a few words, and delivered one of the most calculated, brutal takedowns the industry had ever seen. It wasn't loud, it wasn't messy, it was clean, direct, and devastating. It was clear to everyone watching. Toyota had just humiliated Elon Musk, and Elon completely lost it. What was supposed to be just another calm, predictable CES showing had turned into a turning point. The silent giant had finally spoken, and the message couldn't have been clearer. They're not trying to compete with Tesla anymore. They're getting ready to replace it. And Elon? He's finally starting to realize that this war isn't coming. It's already started. So now the question is, was this the moment the balance of power in tech and mobility finally shifted? Or is Elon already planning his next big move to take it all back?